Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Michael /Pokeoz. Market crash. Not a catchphrase, not clickbait, but one comment that I see regularly on all my videos is something along the lines of, you guys are going to regret it when this market crashes. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the market. This is one of those videos where you don't need to watch. There's nothing going to be up on the screen at all. This is one of those videos where you can pop the headphones in while you're going for a walk or at the gym, you pop the TV on in the background, put it on in the car through Bluetooth while you're going for a bit of a drive, nothing on the screen. So just tune in, let's have a conversation about the current Pokemon market. Is there a looming crash coming? How do we insulate ourselves if the crash happens? What strategies can we put in place to help protect our money essentially? And we're going to predominantly put a sealed or singles Pokemon investing lens on top of it, because I know a lot of you out there are probably, starting off maybe dabbling in eBay sales and online stores or maybe brick and mortar stores. It's not going to be so much about that. It's going to be more for the general collector that is buying sealed product and buying singles and wondering what to buy them, how to protect themselves if there's a crash coming. So let's jump straight into it. If we start off with a crash, we first need to define the opposite, I think, and that is a bull market. And at the moment, there is no lie about it. The massive consensus is we're in a huge bull market. And what defines a bull market? It's pretty common sense, I think. It's strong investor confidence. It's a positive outlook on the market. There's massive increases, north of 20%, and a lot of the assets rise in price quite rapidly. And generally what happens as more investors get more optimistic, they increase buying habits, they increase spending, and this creates high demand for any products, and that high demand keeps supply low. And we get, upward pressure put on pricing. That is what a bull market is. And if we look at all those points and break them down really, really quickly, strong investor confidence, there is that at the moment. People are buying lots. Probably buying more than they're ever spent. If we look at the market spending across sealed product and singles, I think it's happening more than ever. Of course, there's a positive outlook. Increases north of 20%. We've seen from every era, if we go back to EX era and see Gold Star sales, they are going for incredible amounts of money. If we fast forward to more modern eras, like XY era, we're seeing massive increases in XY era booster boxes. If we go to Sun and Moon era, we're seeing massive increases in Sun and Moon boxes. Cosmic Eclipse has been on an absolute burner. Unified Minds has been kicking out. Team Up's nudging $10,000 for a booster box. If we fast forward even sooner to Sword and Shield, and even Scarlet and Violet, sets like Evolving Skies have been on a heater. Lost Origin that I've spoken about, Fusion Strike, even sets like Paldea Evolved, absolute heaters at the moment. Everything is going up. So we're seeing massive, massive increases in the assets in the hobby. Singles across the board, PSA 10s are going up. Bubble Mew is on an absolute heat. You get the idea. There is a massive, massive bull market at the moment. So now that we've defined that, let's turn our attention to what a crash is. How do we define a crash? Well, again, I think it's also pretty simple, isn't it? Generally speaking, it would be some sort of dramatic drop across multiple sectors of the hobby, resulting in significant losses. And here's the important part, on paper. Keep in mind that unless you sell, you haven't lost anything. If you've bought a PSA 10 Umbreon at the absolute height and it drops 20%, from, I don't even know what an Umbreon's going for in a PSA 10. Is it going for like $2.5, $3 whatever it's going for? Let's say it's going for $3 and it drops to $2,400. So it's a 20% drop in price. You haven't lost anything if you don't sell it. Same thing with booster boxes. Let's say for argument's sake, you bought Team Up at $8,000 because you thought it's going to be a $20,000 booster box one day. And now it's sitting at $10,000, but we see a 30% reduction and it drops down to $7,000. You haven't lost anything unless you sell. It's a very, very straightforward point, isn't it? Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Now that we've defined what a bull market is, which we're currently clearly experiencing, and what a crash is, let's talk about cycles and then how we can insulate and protect ourselves from them. So for the longest period of time, sealed Pokemon product it went up relatively slowly. And it wasn't until we had that massive boom in 2020 that it turned a lot of people's attention towards Pokemon card investing. Whether it was investing in the singles to have hanging on their wall, whether it was the nostalgia attached to it, whether it was re-ripping old packs that they had from their childhood, whether it's the rise of rip and shippers, whether it's the rise of PokeTubers, whether it's the rise of bigger money coming into the hobby, whether it was the rise of influencers coming into the hobby. Of course, Logan Paul's name gets thrown around, Steve Aoki, the famous DJ, putting money into Pokemon. Like there's so many influencers that have influencers, not as in social media influencers, influencers. There's been so much influencers causing rises and increases in the Pokemon card investing space. We can't deny that. It's clearly been happening. And we've gone from this, steady rise of sealed Pokemon card products to massive increases. And if we talk about market cycles from 2020 onwards, for argument's sake, which is when most obviously a lot of investors have got into the hobby. Like for people to say, yeah, I was investing in 2010, that would be a very small handful of people. If you were, and you were buying booster boxes from 2010, hats off to you. You've done a fantastic job. The gains you would have realized if you've held them all the way to now would be absolutely phenomenal. But for the most part, most people sort of got in this hobby around that 2020 timeframe. And as a result, we've seen a few market cycles from then. We saw that massive rise around that Celebrations, Evolving Skies era from Sword and Shield, because not only did we have stimulus spending money and all those other factors that I mentioned, we had some phenomenal Pokemon card sets. There was so much hype around the era. There was so much hype around Pokemon cards. It caused a massive bull market. Now, coming off the back of that, we did see some decreases in some products. We saw slight decreases in things like, some of those mega chase cards from the early WotC era. Things like first edition base set Charizard came off the ball. Things like first edition Neo Genesis Lugia, which went for astronomical prices in 2021 and haven't quite recovered. So you could say maybe, I wouldn't say it was a crash because, a lot of things held their price pretty well. But there were cards, so singles, that drastically reduced in price. There were some sealed products that pulled back in price. Some of the unlimited base set booster boxes, unlimited fossil, jungle, etc. Some of those booster boxes did retract a little bit in price in sort of 2022. And now we're back in a massive bull market again. So cycles can happen. Now, the next part of this video, I want to talk about how we insulate ourselves from these troubles and also put some strategies in place. Before I do that though, I just wanted to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. Link in the description to download it. Awesome app. If you want to follow my journey in the sealed investing space, you can catch me down the bottom in the content creators section. The other part of the app now though is you can go into any set, you can log all your singles, all your sealed, you can filter from top hits to lowest hits. You can see the market movement, you can see total set value, which I talk about as one of the most important things to future sealed product value. That total set value is so important. And now in the final section under your portfolio, you can actually start putting in realized gains. So when you sell products, you can put in what you've sold them for and actually see in the app locked in profit. That is all happening behind the scenes now. So this app is only going from strength to strength. Again, link in the description to download it. Now, some strategies we can put in place to help minimize risk. One thing that I like, and look, a lot of people talk about vintage, and look, if you've invested in Gold Star cards or any of those EX booster boxes 2 or 3 years ago, I mean, you're still flying. They've been expensive 2 or 3 years ago, but they're only getting more and more expensive. So what I'm getting at is sometimes vintage can be really strong, but also given the massive price points you're paying, sometimes you're going to take the biggest hits on those products. So in terms of the biggest and main insulation strategy I could say is put in place is if you can buy Pokemon cards, or more importantly, sealed products at retail price at launch, what danger do you really have? I mean, if you've bought a booster box, and I know not many of them are around anymore at this price point, but if you bought a Sword and Shield booster box at $100, what risk are you really taking? $100, that's your risk. What are the chances that that booster box goes to zero? It's so slim. There's way less chance that $100 booster box at launch from Sword and Shield goes to zero than there is a $10,000 base set booster box going to $9,900 and losing your $100. Do you get what I'm saying there? There's such little risk associated to buying brand new product at retail price. Like, what are the chances it's going to go to zero? Like, this franchise, this IP, it is just way too drastically big that I just don't see it happening. So my first strategy to insulate yourself from any possible market crash that's coming, and personally, I don't actually see one coming in the near future. 2025, certainly not. 2026, like, we've got 30th anniversary around the corner, the new Mega Evolution sets, some of the teasers of cards we're starting to see, like that Charizard lineup for the Mega Charizard, the Mega Gengar. Like, if these things happen, if you've seen that Mega Gengar where it's like in the museum with felt hat Pikachu in the side and it's coming out of a painting, if that is real, take everyone's money. Like, Pokemon shows no signs of slowing down. So personally, I don't see a crash coming. And the amount of people that are just loving this as an investment space, it's only increasing. I was talking about this on YouTube 2 years ago, and I was saying the same thing. It's only going to grow. There's only going to be more and more people in this space and in this hobby. And fast forward 2 years to now, I'm going to say the exact same thing. Like, there's so many people enjoying this as an investment space. It's so much fun. It's the fun investment that you can have. I just don't see it going anywhere. But the first strategy to insulate yourself is to buy sealed at retail price. And look, I know it's difficult at the moment, but the lowest you can possibly buy it, maybe you've worked out deals with friends that have cards, or maybe you've worked out deals with your local LGS, maybe you've got a reasonable place to buy online, whatever the reason might be. If you can buy things as close to retail price as possible, that is going to help insulate yourself. The other strategy I would use personally, and this is one I use, is not to invest in singles. And I get the big joke that goes around about what I've said. What was it? I was nearly going to get a cap as a bit of a laugh and like just sticky tape the saying on the top of it. What did I say again? Not that I will, but I would. And it's funny because there's actually a car sales saying, in case you haven't watched this channel, I work in car sales, and one of the sayings is, what do we say all the time? If I could, would you? That's an old saying, sales saying. What we mean by that is, if I could do this deal, would you go ahead and buy the car? I'm not saying I can, but if I could do it, would you? So you're trying to get commitment out of the buyer, essentially. If the buyer shows you some level of commitment, then of course you can go to work for them. There's no point accepting, deals that don't exist. So I guess what was I saying? Not that I will, but I would. So I don't invest in singles. So what I was saying is, not that I will buy these singles, because I don't invest in singles. But if I were to invest in singles, these are the ones that I would buy. And I get it, it's just almost become a bit of a meme, hasn't it? But yeah, I was going to make a hat and write that on the top as a bit of a laugh and take the piss out of myself. Us Australians are very good at doing that. But anyway, I've lost my train of thought a little bit. So second strategy to insulate is, I don't invest in singles. That's a personal choice. Why? Because I feel singles have more fluctuation. They're more likely to see bigger corrections in market crashes. They're more likely to see more like bull market pump ups and manipulation, and you just don't really see that on sealed. The other thing is, singles are only increasing in volume. PSA populations are only increasing in volume, whereas sealed products are deflationary assets. They're only decreasing over time after they're out of their print run. Of course, we can get more print happen and sealed boxes can become more prevalent and back on the market again, but as they get older and more get opened, they just get rarer and rarer. There's less of them on the market. So another thing I would do to help insulate myself from any possible crash is to invest in sealed over singles. Even when we saw that slight crash, I guess, or market correction or market cycle, whatever you want to call it, in 2022 and coming into 2023 and even 2024, where things were pretty stable, the start of Scarlet and Violet era, I can't remember one sealed product of mine that really dropped in value. Yes, some of them might have stagnated for some time. Look at sets like Fusion Strike. How long did that sit quite stagnant? Celebrations, which has just seen a massive increase. How long did that sit quite stagnant? And all of a sudden, when the bull market hits again, we see that massive uptick in price. So that's definitely the second strategy I would use to protect myself from any potential crash or impending doom coming in the market, which personally I don't see any time soon. Well, there's my take on the Pokemon market crash and the comments we always see down below. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz, and I'll catch everyone next time.